This little pattern right here is one that I like to fish, you know, early in the spring when the midges are coming out. And it's just a little midge pupa. And I'm actually, I'll put it back in the vise. This is a Daiichi 1150 size 16. And I usually take this out and put it on a fuse clip, a nice little holder. What's nice about that is I can take and stick this down in there, inside this, and grab a bead. And it comes off and there's one bead on it. Little easy way to do it. Then I can just simply line it up with a vise, put it in the vise, let go of it, and there it is. It's right on the vise. When I'm working with these smaller items, it's easier to use the tools that are available to me. And we're going to take a red thread, usually a 70 denier Flymaster Plus or an Ultra thread. Really a nice, it's also a 70 denier. And I will take and simply tie in a red thread base. And I'm going to tie that right to the back of the bend of the hook, almost parallel with the eye. That's how you can tell is when you bring that forward where you're right in the middle of the bend. Tie yourself a half hitch. And what we're going to use is a real tiny piece of laser wrap. Really unique material, very flexible. It comes in this size right here. You can see that the edge itself just glows. That's why we call it, it's called laser wrap, and this is laser midge. What I have found is as lights are changing on the water, and the lights are down through there, this thing just is like turning on a light switch. Turning a light switch on, turning a light switch off. And it's really interesting, but I know that the fish just absolutely love it. The other, excuse me, the other thing about this pattern is it's very, very durable. Now that I've tied this in, I've brought that thread back forward to the bead, and I grab a little hackle plier here, and I simply start to wrap this forward. What it does is it buries that little bright edge down inside, and it actually creates a rib. What's amazing is when the light hits it, it just glows. And I bring that up behind the bead. Bring the thread up around behind it, snug it down into place, put 3 good wraps or 4 good wraps on it, and simply cut it off. Now, you could fish this as is, just like it is, and the fly would be complete. It's fairly quick. But what I like to do is I have a dubbing that is actually, what I also use this dubbing for is actually an egg bale. And I'll simply take a little tuft of it like so, and I'll place it right on top of the hook, right on top of it like this. And I'm going to bring my thread up, and I'm going to simply wrap a loose wrap around that, and you can see that where it's starting to spin around. And I'll simply walk that dubbing around it. Nice and easy, come up and over, then I pull the dubbing back. And that locks it into place, and it gives us a little halo over the front end of that. Then what I like to do is to kind of brush it out, get those fibers nice and moving around on there, and then I simply come up and I trim that stuff off. Little rotary vise works really pretty nice for this. This Regal is really nice for me. Been tying one for a long, long time. So, and then what you have is you have this nice little wing plus halo that comes over that. And then finish it off. Make a nice little red collar right there. Add a little head cement to that. And the fly is complete.